Hello and welcome to the fifth of our series of beginners tutorials for Inkscape. And in this session we're going to look at the Bezier tool. So to find it on the toolbar, I'm just going to introduce you to the toolbar and how it's organised. So in version 1.0 of Inkscape they changed the order of the icons in the toolbar. I think the icons are the same tools that are all there, but they've broken it down in a more logical way. So the first little group is the select tool, so one for selecting objects, the next for selecting nodes within objects. Then we have the tools we've been using so far, which are for automatically creating shapes. And then the third set are for manually creating shapes, and the top of those is the Bezier tool. So there are three pen or pencil tools. One is a pencil, one is like a calligraphy pen, and the Bezier is the one that looks like a technical drawing pen. Now, Bezier is named after the mathematician who sort of worked out, well actually, like many scientific principles named after people, he wasn't the person who came up with the idea, but he refined it when working for Renault car firm in the 1950s, a way of mathematically describing lines. So for straight lines, well, when I click the Bezier tool, I'm going to start a line. Now, if I want a line without a handle, so that's a straight line, so we only need handles with curves, then I just click and release the mouse. Click and release the mouse, click and release the mouse, click and release the mouse. We get a shape, so I'll just undo that and show again, because I meant to show you how to close the shape and know when you've got it in the right place. So see the square for the marks the first point I created, the way it changes colour? That means that if I click I'm going to get a nice closed shape, so I can just, there we are, I've got a goldfish. You don't have to have a closed shape, you can just click, 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 and then when you're ready you can just press enter. And now if I try and fill that with a colour, Inkscape invents a line to close it, so the shortest line between the first and the last point I created. Also, as I'm going along, you'll notice that the line I'm drawing is red, the previous line is green, which sort of means I've sort of sealed it by clicking the next node, so that bit's been done, so the red line is the line I'm creating. But if I make a mistake, I can just press delete or backspace and I will skip back to a previous node. So I'll go back to there. So that's pretty helpful. Okay. So that's the easy way of using the Bezier tool. I'm just going to delete these two. And we're going to look at the proper way. So I'm going to press B to bring the tool back up. Now, this time I'm going to click, but I'm going to create a handle, and I do that by dragging. So I've clicked the left mouse button and I've kept it held down. And rather than a red line that we had before, we've now got a blue line, which is the handle. Okay, and when I release the mouse button, I've now got the red line, which is actually going to be the line for the artwork I'm doing. So when I get to the place where I want my next node, I'm going to click and hold again, click and hold, and I'm dragging the handles, let go, and now that first segment has gone to a green line because that's fixed, and then I've got a new segment of line, and when I get to where I want the handle there, this time I'm going to have a corner node, so I'm going to just click and release. Come up here, click release, come down here and click and drag, then when I release, come to here, join it up and release. So press N to bring the node editing tool. One thing to notice is where the line starts and ends almost always becomes a point node, and it's easy to convert that into a smooth node by pressing Control and clicking on it, and that's a more convincing fish, I think, and we can adjust it. what I would say is when you're creating your shape, if you make a mistake, rather than going back and risking deleting the whole line, it's easier to just carry on and then fix something later, because you can always just. It's the joy of Inkscape, is that ability to always tweak and go back into things. Now these two haven't got handles because they're corner nodes. Now if I wanted to give them handles, I can hold Shift down and click on them. Now I can drag a handle off. So I could maybe emphasise that, and I could do another one to give it a bit of curvature there as well. So I can okay, so that's my fish for now. If you're finding the Bezier tool really difficult, and it is a learning curve, it's a totally new way of drawing lines. You've probably never done this in your life before, so why would it be easy? But it's well worth the practice. But if you're finding it hard to get a sort of sensitive control, and it's about remembering when to click and release and hold and when not to, it's not totally logical, then there is a cheat system. So if we take this first fish, and we've got 5 corner nodes, but if I select these 3, so just dragging around, I can turn those into smooth nodes. Now I don't think the control trick only works on one node at a time, so I can do that. Or I could, if I just undo those 3, I could click on that and on all 3. And again, instantly we're starting to get something similar. So you can start with just square lines and curve them up. What I wouldn't recommend is keeping them as corner nodes and trying to just drag the lines to look like they're smooth nodes, because later on, if you change something else, it might come and haunt you. So that this is sort of bad practice. So that's the end of this tutorial. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.